Haziran ayının en iddialı filmlerinden biri olan Snow White and the Huntsman, Rupert Sanders yönetmenliğinde çekilen büyüklere masal anlatan görsel bir sinema şöleniydi. Yılların Pamuk Prenses hikayesini bizlere farklı bir bakış açısıyla anlatmıştı. Göz alıcı görsel efektlere ve etkileyici bir kurguya sahip olan filmin yapımcılığını Alice in Wonderland filminin de yapımcılığını yapan Eric Roth üstleniyor. Kötü kalpli kraliçeyi Charlize Theron, Pamuk Prensesi Kristen Stewart ve avcıyı Chris Hemsworth canlandırıyor. Unutmadan söyleyelim, Rupert Sanders'ın ilk uzun metraj denemesi.
Snow White is this great action-packed revenge movie.
It's great. It's like playing sport. It's very physical.
We got about 10 cameras out here, tracking vehicles.
Sweeping shots, fast tracking shots, chasing shots.
We've probably got every toy known to mankind.
Riding full pelt along that beach, really feeling the energy.
Especially at that speed with all of them going.
I just wanted to scream a lot.
This is an epic picture. Snow White's gonna blow everybody away.
3, 2, 1, action!
I was surrounded by all these horses and all this fire, which was probably the most exciting day I've ever had, ever. Lots of fighting, lots of action. The director's vision is fantastic.
Snow White is innately defensive, and so it's always down to that last second, and then it's just pick up an arrow. You're going to throw your drink on the ground and stand up and go, yeah!
The stunt team come up with some amazing ways to wield axes, and it's like being a little kid again. It becomes very sort of wild haymaking swings and kicks and messy.
It's going to be really well executed and it's going to look fantastic. It is epic in every sense of the word.
Ready, and action!
We had so many real explosives going off, and that was awesome.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is fairest of them all?
Ravenna is the Eagle Queen, played by Charlize Theron.
The Queen is death. She has no heart.
Ravenna's mission really is to live within the greatest means of power.
She's the darkness within us all.
You are the fairest, but there is another destined to surpass you. Snow White.
Bring me the king's daughter.
What does she want from me?
You beating heart.
Ravenna and Snow White are bound in a way.
I should have killed her when she was a child.
Snow White's escaped. The Queen promises the Huntsman something very valuable if he sets off on the mission to capture Snow White.
Hunt her down.
And if I refuse?
To his knees. As an outsider, I see her as all of the things that the audience will. Such beauty. But how strong is your heart? But as an insider playing her, I had to not think about those things.
She's perfect to play the Queen because she's got this presence.
She has this icy cold kind of evil stare that she throws at you.
She can level you.
You know, I wouldn't want to fight her.
When you come across a part like that, you take advantage of it.
Charlize Theron, stunning as the evil queen, is about to play her first scene in the magnificent throne room. This is day 11 on the set of Snow White and the Huntsman.
Ready and action.
These two were captured leading an ambush of one of our supply trains.
This is Ravina's throne room. The throne took about 3 months to build, so it's a big day for us to be putting it up today.
We've drawn inspiration from Queen Victoria's funeral throne, and the main aim of the game was to make it look big and impressive. We're in a very big set here, so it's got to look very imposing.
When you look at the throne more specifically, you see that all the sculptures and the carvings indicate this death and this destruction and this evil power that Ravina has.
Such courage. Such beauty. But how strong is your heart?
In the middle of a dark forest, an ambush. Weapons are drawn, and a fight to the death. This is day 17 on the set of Snow White and the Huntsman.
We find out that some of the Queen's men are coming through my father's land, and I take some of my father's soldiers with me to basically overthrow these people.
The carriages and horses are coming through the supply carriages, and Sam gives the signal and he fires a flaming arrow. All his men jump on and there's a scuffle.
Well, that was actually my first day of filming, which was probably the most exciting day I've ever had, ever. I was surrounded by other stunt guys and all these horses and all this fire and climbing trees. When we started doing the actual fight, the nerves quickly turned to excitement, and I was kind of thrilled that that was my first day, my introduction to this amazing job. You know, I was very lucky.
One of the most intense battles in the film takes place in the middle of a river with a huge troll that I never saw coming. Now, this is day 39 on the set of Snow White and the Huntsman.
3, 2, 1, action!
Just like to welcome you to the set of Snow White and the Huntsman. Me and Mr. Hemsworth are just fighting a troll today, a big stinky troll.
The troll is going to be all fully CG, so all we've been shooting here is Kristen and Chris running, being ratcheted, pulled away. And then after all of that, we're going to put a CG troll there.
It was all obviously visual effects, which we don't see when we're there shooting it. So they'd rigged up explosives or what have you in the water at certain points to shoot, you know, water up so that we could react as though the troll was stomping through towards us. It made you feel like you were fighting a troll.
There is only one way to escape from the castle, through a sewer full of rats. This is day 45 on the set of Snow White and the Huntsman.
We're in Pinewood Studios and we've got a sewer scene and we have to basically make it more realistic by putting some rats in there. We've got about 15 rats here. They don't bite, I hope.
Okay, here we go. Rats in.
Big mine. Kristen's been great with the rats. They've been right by her mouth, really close to her, and doesn't seem to care whatsoever. She's very impressive. I'm amazed. She's a lot tougher than I'll ever be.
Mills Film Department produced the Mirror Man sequence. When the Queen is asking the mirror who's the fairest of them all, the mirror melts out of the wall and forms itself into a Mirror Man. The initial brief was to form a solid metal character, but to never quite be sure whether he was liquid metal or solid. So the Mirror Man work splits into sort of 3 distinct stages. There's the emission from the mirror on the wall. Then there's the formation out of the liquid mass on the floor into Mirror Man. And then there's the Mirror Man performance as the evil Queen and the Mirror Man have a conversation. Cedric, Nicholas Troyan and Phil Brennan, who were the visual effects supervisors, were really aware that he was going to be full CG, in your face, in a performance, taking up a large area of the screen so that there would be nowhere to hide. When we initially started to do R&D on the Mirror Man, we thought it would be a good idea to do a studio shoot, testing to see how liquid looked at high speed, being poured upside down over dummies to see how it interacted and see what fluids looked like for real before we sat down and started on the computer. It became clear that fluid was definitely not going to be the way to go because it was quite hard to make that controllable and elegant, and instead we opted for a cloth solution. Production provided us with a 3D scan of the environment and we did a spare-on shoot on the set. We reconstructed the environment in 3D. The IBL and lights were separated so we could position candles or fire where needed. The plan was to use a reflective prop on the set with an epic red camera inside to capture Charlize Theron's performance. The Queen was reflected in 2D using UV normals and point position in world space so we could control the look of her. Physical reflection would have made her almost invisible and horrible, but the Mirror Man existed only in her mind, so reflections had to be cheated. One of the things I really like about Mirror Man is it's as much about Charlize Theron's performance as Ravenna as it is about the Mirror Man. Really what you're looking at is her reflection of her performance in the Mirror Man. Mirror Man was a very technically challenging sequence to create. It's one of those visual effects sequences that when you sit down to start, nobody's 100% sure of what it's going to look like as the sort of journey of creativity to be done on your way to making it. And we're all very proud of what we've achieved in making Mirror Man and being part of such an iconic sequence.
I think this film, with how epic it is, it's going to be a feast for their eyes. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is fairest of them all?
The director, Rupert, conjured up visuals that absolutely transported you somewhere else, and it wasn't at all what I expected.
The attention to detail in every set was absolutely sensational.
Because he's done hundreds of commercials on a large scale. Rupert knows how to tell such a vivid story and with just such great imagery.
Everything that we're shooting is either a real location or we're building immense sets.
It kind of takes your breath away every time you turn up to work.
Rupert is a very visual guy. He captures almost every kind of landscape. We go through the dark forest, the sanctuary, the kingdom in its Camelot stage of richness, and the kingdom in its disintegration.
Chatting away, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Here we go.
During Magnus's reign, life was amazing. There was a sense of peace, and so our dressing really reflects that. Everything is very colorful, and there was a lot happening. When Ravenna comes along, this ash has just covered the world. Her lands are burnt.
The Queen really symbolizes death, and Snow White is the beating heart of life.
There is a grittiness here, and it's a grittiness that strikes me as profoundly medieval.
This is an incredible opportunity to create a world that people haven't seen before.
Once the lights go off, we all want to go into a different world. Lips red as blood, hair black as night. Bring me your heart, my dear.